implement pipelining. We have seen SMEC to PCA architecture. Then we have seen what are the 5 phases of this SMEC to PC architecture instruction execution. For instruction execution, if you want to execute the instruction, then there are 5 stages: fetch instruction, decode instruction, execute instruction, and calculate the effective address. Step number 4 is memory access, and step number 5 is store your result. So these are the 5 stages having any doubt? Are you having any question? Till is it clear? 5 stages of instruction. Then and then only I will get that you are getting the point. Is it clear? Okay, just do 1 minute. Just wait 1 minute. 1 minute. Hello. Now voice is clear. Is my voice is clear for both the division student? Please reply. Now is my voice is clear to you? Okay. Okay. So now let me and screen is also visible to you all in the both the division. Okay. So what we have discussed this particular point that 5 stages instruction pipeline we have discussed. And then in this particular 5 stages of instruction pipeline, we have seen that what are the operations that has been performed by each and every stage for different instruction. So this is little bit important. This is very important point that for all the type of instruction you require first stage. It means that if your instruction is any instruction, jump instruction, add instruction, load instruction, store instruction, or any kind of instruction, you require first stage. First stage is necessary for all the instruction. Same way for decoding and fetching the register, that is also necessary. Decoding step is also important for all the instruction. So it is also required. But step number 3, execution of instruction, it is not required for all the instruction. It is required for only this kind of instruction. Let's say that add instruction, or you can say that your instruction is this arithmetic instruction, or your instruction is increment decrement. If your instruction is jumping like that, so only conditional jump instruction In that case, you need to calculate the effective address, and then we will perform this operation. So only for those instructions, step number 3 is required. Suppose if your instruction is unconditional jump, then step number 1, that instruction will be fetched. Step number 2, the instruction will be decoded, and then there will be no any step. Unconditional jump will be performed directly from here. Unconditional jump में क्या होगा? Unconditional jump में सिर्फ ये 2 स्टेज ही यूज होंगे. यहाँ से आपका इंस्ट्रक्शन रजिस्टर में से आपका डेटा आएगा. The data will be directly transferred from multiplexer to your program counter for next instruction. So that is without checking any condition. If you are doing this, so this is, you can say that it will require only 2 clock cycle. Your unconditional jump instruction will require only 2 clock cycle. Ideally, ये सभी हम ideally बात कर रहे हैं. Real में ऐसा नहीं होता है, but theoretically, if you will say that, if you will follow the steps, then theoretically it will take 2 clock cycle only for unconditional jump instruction. So, if we will carefully examine the pipeline stages, then unconditional branch instruction need not take all the 5 clock cycle. It needs only 2 clock cycle. So it will skip step number 3, 4, 5 as soon as the instruction is decoded. Same way, conditional jump instruction होगी तो क्या होगा? If it is a conditional jump instruction, if it is a conditional jump instruction, then what will happen? तो यहाँ पे क्या होगा? Your instruction will be fetched, your instruction will be decoded, then over here, your effective address will be calculated. Your condition will be evaluated, whether it is equal or not. So based on this, your flag will be set. So यहाँ से अब आपको क्या करना होगा? Now next is what? Just you need to transfer this address. So that is, it require only these 3 stages. If it is conditional jump instruction, then it require only 3 stages. Fetching, execution, and then from here, after execution, it will check the status, whether this answer is 0 or not, and based on that, it will transfer your this particular bit. आपका जो bit number होंगे 0 to 15, that will be already there, and that will be transferred to your multiplexer, and multiplexer through it will transfer to your program counter. So यहाँ पे ये जो स्टेप है, यहाँ पे मल्टीप्लेक्सर में से डेटा आपका प्रोग्राम काउंटर में ट्रांसफर करने का, इट इज कंसिडरिंग दैट टाइम इज निग्लिजिबल. सो दैट इज व्हाई वी आर कंसिडरिंग दैट ओनली 3 स्टेप्स आर देयर, 3 स्टेजेस वी रिक्वायर फॉर कंडीशनल जंप इंस्ट्रक्शन. अनकंडीशनल के लिए, फॉर अनकंडीशनल इंस्ट्रक्शन वी रिक्वायर ओनली 2 clock cycle. For conditional instruction we require 3 clock cycle. Same way for immediate instruction. Immediate instruction means immediate instruction like LDI, as well as the instruction like increment and decrement. We require only 3 clock cycles. So ये instruction, ये 3 instruction के लिए भी आपको कितने clock cycle लगेंगे? So for this 3 instruction again we require only 3 clock cycle, because over here your data will be incremented or decremented, and increment decrement instruction में क्या होगा? It should be stored in the same register, so it will not take much time. So we will consider that only 3 stages are there for increment decrement, as well as for load immediate, LDI. I am not talking about load instruction, I am talking about only LDI. अगर आपकी instruction load instruction होगी, then it will take all the stages, 5 stages. Memory access, तो उसमें memory access भी आएगा, store result भी आएगा. But if your instruction is load immediate का meaning क्या होगा? आपने यहाँ पे आपके instruction register में ही आपने आपका data mention किया होगा. So it will take only, so over here your instruction will be fetched, over here your instruction will be decoded, then from here after that it will be identified that okay, this is a load immediate instruction. So from here multiplexer it will select only B1 B2, ये दोनों में से क्या select होगा? 0, and calculate effective address, and then this IMM, this will be transferred to your multiplexer, and then it will be loaded into your designated register. So that is again it require over here, यहाँ पे ये designated register वो फिर load होगा. So that is load immediate, आपका immediate. So इसमें भी कितनी cycle लगेंगे? It require only 3 clock cycle. So all instructions need not require 5 stages, 5 clock cycles. That is, unconditional jump instruction, unconditional branch instruction require only 2, conditional branch instruction require 3, and immediate instruction will require only 3 clock cycle. Okay, so now based on this, if you will consider this situation now, that conditional, unconditional, and this immediate instruction, theoretically, if you will now, if you want to calculate the speed up, or you can say that average time required for instruction, ideally जो हम क्या बोलते हैं, what we are saying that if you will implement pipelining, if you will implement pipelining, then there are 5 stages of pipelining: fetch instruction, decode instruction, execute your instruction, memory access, and store result. So due to these 5 stages, each and every stages will require one clock cycle ideally. But for unconditional jump instruction, it require only 2 clock cycle. For conditional instruction, it require only 3 cycle, and for immediate instruction, it require only 3 cycle. So if you will say that in your program, suppose in my program, if let's say that if I will say that how many percentage of branch instructions are there, let's say that 5% of branch instructions are there. Then how many conditional branch instructions are there? Let's say 15 conditional branch instructions are there. And how many immediate instructions are there? Let's say that 10 immediate instructions are there. So if this is a scenario, then what will be the average number of clock cycle per instruction? So what we are going to calculate, we are going to calculate the average number of clock cycle for पर्टिकुलर इंस्ट्रक्शन सेट, आपके जो आपको जो इंस्ट्रक्शन सेट दिया होगा उसमें पर इंस्ट्रक्शन उसमें एवरेज टाइम कितना लगेगा आपको. So that is we are going to calculate. So उसमें क्या होगा, how we will calculate it. So अगर ideally आपकी instruction जो normal instruction है, arithmetic instruction है और load store instruction है, so in that case it require 5 clock cycle. But due to this unconditional branch instruction, आपकी एवरेज क्लॉक साइकिल क्या हो जाएगी, थोड़ी कम हो जाएगी. सेम वे ड्यू टू दिस अनकंडीशनल, क्यों, क्योंकि ये जो इंस्ट्रक्शन है वो 2 क्लॉक साइकिल में कंप्लीट हो जाएगी. ये जो इंस्ट्रक्शन है conditional branch instruction, it will be completed in 3 clock cycle, and this immediate instruction will be completed again in 3 clock cycle. So how we will calculate it? So what we will do, we will perform addition, summation of percentage of instruction of type P. It means that whether it is a unconditional, whether it is a conditional, कौन से type की instruction है. So instruction of type P, unconditional, conditional और immediate और normal instruction, कौन से type की instruction है. Into clock cycles required by that particular instruction, that type of instruction. So unconditional branch instruction होगी, so वो 5% है. So यहाँ कंसीडर करेंगे 5% of 1, so 5%. So यहाँ पे हम 5% कंसीडर करेंगे. So that is percentage of instruction that is a given. So 5% instruction. So that is 5 into 2. That is for why it is 5 into 2, 5%, and number of clock cycle require 2. Unconditional branch instruction के लिए आपको कितनी clock cycle लगेगी? 2. Same way. Next, कंडीशनल ब्रांच इंस्ट्रक्शन के लिए 15%, एंड उसमें कितना टाइम लगेगा? 3 क्लॉक साइकिल. सो दैट इज अ 15 into 2. सेम वे 10 इमीडिएट इंस्ट्रक्शन, सो 10 into 3. एंड सेम वे नॉर्मल इंस्ट्रक्शन, अब आपकी कितनी बचेगी? हाउ मेनी नॉर्मल इंस्ट्रक्शंस आर रिमेनिंग? सपोज इफ यू विल कंसीडर दैट आवर सेट इज हैविंग 100%. अब सो 100% में से 5% हमने कंसीडर किया ब्रांच इंस्ट्रक्शन, 15% हमने कंसीडर किया कंडीशनल, 10% we have considered that is it's immediate. So now how many remaining percentage? 70. So उसको कितना टाइम लगेगा? So 70 into 5. So that is, if you will calculate this and divide it by 100, so that is you will get 4.35. What is the meaning? It means that if you are having such instruction set, अगर ऐसा instruction set है जिसमें आपके पास 5% unconditional branch instruction है, 15% conditional branch instruction है, immediate 10% instruction है, and normal instruction 17% है, तो ये कंप्लीट होने में, ये जो सेट है उसको कंप्लीट होने में, एक उसमें कोई एक इंस्ट्रक्शन को कंप्लीट होने में एवरेज टाइम कितना लगेगा? 4.35 in pipelining. Average time it will take per instruction This is per instruction time. Average time per instruction will be 4.35. So that is average time, average clock cycle you require. Average clock cycle per instruction will be 4.35. So that is how we will calculate the average clock cycle. Is it clear, first of all? Are you having any doubt? Is it clear? Yes or no? Am I audible to you all? H division students, please reply. Is it clear? Am I audible to you all? Okay. 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 So now let's move on for the speed up calculation. How we will calculate the speed up? So ideally, ये अभी हम ideal scenario अभी बात कर रहे हैं. Ideal scenario means that is a theoretically only. Real life में ये ideal scenario कभी possible नहीं होता है. In real life, we are having so many problems in implementation of pipelining. We will see it. But first of all, let's calculate it for ideal scenario that we have already calculated for the in previous chapter also. Over here, we are again going to do the same thing, but now it in terms of instruction. Previous chapter में हमने consider किया था, वो हमने as an example लिया था, कोई paper checking का example लिया था. So like that. यहाँ पे इक्वेशन वैसा ही होगा, सिर्फ यहाँ पे नंबर्स जो हम यूज करेंगे एम एन वो जो वेरिएबल्स हम यूज करेंगे उसके नेमिंग सिर्फ चेंज है, अदरवाइज इट विल बी द सेम. सो दिस इज स्पीड अप कैलकुलेशन, आइडियल स्पीड अप कैलकुलेशन. सो स्पीड अप कैलकुलेशन में क्या होगा, व्हाट विल बी देयर इन स्पीड अप कैलकुलेशन? सो let's we will consider that let's we are having total number of instructions that is we are going to execute it, that is m. So यहाँ पे m हमारी total number of instruction है, and let the total number of clock cycle per instruction जो हमने previous consider की थी, यहाँ पे जो हमने calculate की, ये example में हमारा answer क्या आया? So that is 4.35. So यहाँ पे ideally हम consider करेंगे let the total number of clock cycle per instruction is n. It means that if you will execute instruction, so आपको कितना टाइम लगेगा? 5 clock cycle, n clock cycle. यहाँ पे आप हम consider करेंगे n clock cycle. So n you can consider that n is right now number of stages also, क्योंकि हमारा हमने यहाँ पे instruction को कितने stage में divide किया हुआ है? We have divided into 5 stages. So fetch instruction, then decode instruction, जो 5 stages जो हमने divide किया है उसके हिसाब से भी उसको इतना टाइम लगेगा. So 5 clock cycle it require for normal instructions. So clock cycle per instruction, so that is a 5. Then time taken to execute this m instruction without pipelining. So अगर मेरे पास suppose there are 100 instructions, so how much time it require? 100 into 5, so that is a non-pipelining time. So m into n, so that many number of cycles we require to execute your 100 instruction in non-pipelining. But how much time you require for pipelining? Pipelining में आपको कितना time लगेगा? So now recall our previous diagram, जो diagram मैंने previous lecture में explain किया था वो recall करो आप. So उसमें क्या होगा? यहाँ पे 1 2 3 4 5. So let's say that. So यहाँ पे आपकी पहली instruction है. So now we are going to implement it pipelining. So pipelining implement किया हुआ है हमने. So this is, let's say that your first instruction. So your first instruction will have this first stage, second stage, third stage, fourth stage, and fifth stage. So first instruction will be executed during this 5 clock cycle. So जो पहली इंस्ट्रक्शन होगी वो कब कंप्लीट हो जाएगी? एट द एंड ऑफ दिस 5 क्लॉक साइकिल. बट आफ्टर दैट सेकंड इंस्ट्रक्शन ऑनवर्ड्स, तो यहाँ पे अब सेकंड इंस्ट्रक्शन है वो यहाँ से ऑलरेडी फेच हो चुकी होगी. इट हैज बीन ऑलरेडी डिकोडेड, इट हैज बीन ऑलरेडी executed, then memory access and store results. So it means that your second instruction will be completed at which clock cycle? 6th clock cycle. Same way, your third instruction will be completed at clock cycle. It will be completed at 7th clock cycle. Same way, your fourth instruction will be completed at which clock cycle? It will be completed at 8 clock cycle. So if you will observe over here, then after 1 minute, 5 say 6, or you can say that after one clock cycle from 5 to 6, same way after one clock cycle, 6 to 7, same way after one clock cycle, 7 to 8. So at each and every clock, one clock cycle, you are getting your output result. Your instruction will be completed. So for first instruction only, it will take n clock cycle. For remaining m minus one, यहाँ पे हम consider करेंगे, let's say that for 100 instruction, so for first instruction only it will take 5 clock cycle. For 99 instruction it will take only 1 clock cycle. So that is how we will calculate this speed up. So पहली instruction के लिए वो कितना time लगेगा? For first instruction it will take 5 clock cycle, but for remaining 99 instruction it will take only 1 clock cycle. So that is how we are going to calculate the speed up, ideal pipelining time. Okay, so that is a speed up. So that is how we are getting the speed up. Speed up is equal to non pipelining time upon pipelining time. जो pipelining time हमको यहाँ पे मिला है वो, so that is a pipelining time. So वो मैंने यहाँ पे equation में लिखा है n plus m minus 1 into जो यहाँ पे हमने consider किया है वो क्या है? 1. ये जो 1 मैंने यहाँ पे consider किया हुआ है. Why it is 1? Because what we have considered that in individual phase instruction आपकी कर रहे हो, आपका फेज इंस्ट्रक्शन स्टेज है, तो उसको कितना टाइम लग रहा है? 1 clock cycle. Same way, if your second phase is there, so how much time is required by individual stages? तो यहाँ पे हम कंसीडर कर रहे हैं ideally 1 clock cycle. So that's why we have considered, so that is a time taken by individual stages of pipelining. So that is a 1. So that is the equation for speed up. So that is a non-pipelining time upon pipelining time. So now if we will divide this denominator and numerator by m, so we will get this n upon n by m plus m minus 1 by m. Okay, and according to this, now if you will consider that if your m is too large and if your n divided by m is greater than 0, so if your m is greater than n, if your m means total number of instruction, let's say that we will consider that we are having 1000 instruction, and n means number of stages. Suppose we are having 5 stages only, or you can say that number of clock cycle required per instruction. So if it is 5 only, so in this particular case, what you can consider, this terminology will be 0. This terminology you can consider as a 1. Ideally, this is approximately. So approximately you can consider it. So ideal speed up. So this term will become 0. This term will become 1. So it means n by 1. So that is the ideal speed up. So thus ideal speed up is n. So that is ideally. Theoretically, this is a speed up for if you are not having any kind of problem in pipelining. But it is not the always case that you will get your ideal speed up. Why? What is the problem? So this is the first problem. We are going to discuss the first problem in this pipelining. What is the first problem? So first problem is that, say that if you will take example of here, that stage number 1 and stage number 2. For this understanding purpose, let's consider that over here between these two stages we require synchronization, stage number 1 and stage number 2. So usko, let's say that to understand it, I will give you one basic example. Let's say that you are taking your lunch and your mother is making roti for you. So whenever if your speed of eating roti and if your speed of mother making your one roti is equal, then there will be no problem. But if there is a mismatch in speed, then what will happen? You require some buffer. So what will happen? So your mother will cook one roti and it will place in one tray, and then from this tray you will pick up this roti. So consider this example over here. Same thing is possible. So यहाँ पे अगर दोनों की speed same होगी, then there will be no problem. But if your speed are not equal, if you are executing, if someone is taking more time, so suppose आपका stage 1 है वो ज़्यादा time ले रहा है stage 2 से. Suppose if you are eating roti more faster as compared to your mother is cooking, Then what will happen? You have to wait, or suppose if your mother is faster and she is cooking faster, then you will have some piles of roti over here. यहाँ पे आपके पास एक से ज़्यादा roti होगी, and you are not able to get it faster, that much faster. So ultimately, what is the point? You require some intermediate. So we require some buffer due to this speed mismatch between the stages, and to avoid overcome of data or to overwriting of data. So वो avoid करने के लिए generally हम क्या कर रहे हैं? We are introducing some buffer between each stage. So ये हर एक stage के बीच में हमको क्या करना होगा? So we have to keep buffer between each stage so that synchronization will not create, or that particular stages will not lose its previous data, and synchronization will be proper between each stage. So if you will introduce this buffer, so buffer is what ultimately one kind of register. So so ideally जो हम consider कर रहे थे, पहले consider कर रहे थे that each and every stage will take only one clock cycle. Previously what we have assumed that each and every stage will take only one clock cycle. But now what will happen? So now what will happen that each stage will store this data in buffer. So storing this data and retrieving this data, so it will take some extra time. So that is 1 plus E. Now what we have to consider time 1 plus E, because that E is for extra time required for the data and that time the prefer. So that extra time has been introduced over here. So that is, so due to that your speed will be less. This is the first hurdle in your pipelining, implementation of pipelining, to not, so due to that you cannot achieve your ideal speed up. So what time अब आप कैसे calculate करोगे? Speed up calculation with buffer in pipelining between stages. So दो stages के बीच में अगर pipelining implemented है तो आप कैसे consider करोगे? So everything will be same. यहाँ पे सब कुछ same है, but what is the over? So now we will consider instead of 1 clock cycle per instruction, it will take, now what we have to consider that 1 plus E clock cycle. So what is this E? Is nothing but that is the extra time required to store data, is small fraction which is required to store your data and read your data from the buffer. So that is now what we have to consider. So now therefore time taken with a pipelining processing. अगर आप नॉन पाइपलाइनिंग इंप्लीमेंट करते हो, इफ यू आर नॉट इम्प्लीमेंटिंग पाइपलाइनिंग, देन नो नीड टू रिक्वायर बफर. तो नॉन पाइपलाइनिंग टाइम में कुछ so due to this buffer, we are having problem, that is it require extra time. Due to this buffer, it require extra time to fetch instruction as well as to decode instruction as well as to, so between each and every stages you are having this buffer. So it requires some extra time between this buffer, extra time between these stages. So extra time हम यहाँ पे क्या consider कर रहे हैं? What is the time that we are considering it? That is a E. So that is extra time for that will be added for each and every clock cycle. That is accessing buffer. So that what we have to do now, so we are calculating now speed up for this. इसके लिए अब हम speed up calculate करेंगे using considering this extra time. ये extra time का consider करके हम speed up calculate करेंगे. So that is how we will consider over here. So m into n, so that is a non-pipelining time upon pipelining time. So यहाँ पे अब आप pipelining time का time क्या होगा? Pipelining time कैसे consider करेंगे? So previously हम क्या consider करे थे? That first instruction will take only 5 clock cycle and remaining m minus 1 instruction will take 1 clock cycle. So what we have did 1 into 5, and let's say that m means 99, m minus 1 means 99 into 5. But now what we have to do, this 5 is not done. What we have to do, 5 is the ideal time. That now 5 into 1, sorry. So that 1 is ideal time. Well, now what we have to do, 1 plus 0.1, suppose ये e को हम कंसीडर करेंगे 1 plus 0.1, तो वो 0.1 आपकी हर एक स्टेज में ऐड होगा. So 0.1 will be added over here also 5 times. So that is what we have to do. So 1 plus e into n plus m minus 1. So due to this, now what is a pipelining time and non-pipelining time? M into n divided by n plus m minus 1 into 1 plus e. So now if you will consider that in our previous example as we have did, m is too large than n, then you can consider that ideal speed up over here is using buffer, that is n upon 1 plus e. So if you will consider e equal to 0.1, then the speed up according to this definition, speed up equation, 5 upon 1.1. So that is a 4.5. So that will the speed up. So it means that your speed up will be reduced as compared to previous case. Previous case में हमारा speed up क्या आएगा? 5. Over here it will be 4.5. So your speed up is reduced. Okay, so is it clear? Now I hope connection is also okay and you got the point. Any doubt in this? All of you? If you are having any doubt, you can ask. Okay. H division students, is it okay? H division students has not replied. Any one of you, please reply so I can go further. Okay. Okay. So due to this calculation, so this is a introduced buffer. But now these are the three problems. So now I think this already you have learned in CO. So I'm going it little bit faster. That there are three hazards in pipelining, implementation of pipelining. So that is what are the three hazards? Structure hazard, data hazard, and control hazard. So delays in a pipeline execution of instruction due to non-ideal conditions that are called pipeline hazards. So what are the non-ideal conditions? Non-ideal conditions are, first condition is available resources in the processor are limited. So we are having limited resources. So that is known as structural hazard. So if you are having limited resources, or so that is a structural hazard. Same way, if you are having instructions which are independent, which are not independent, which are dependent on each other, it means that data from the, suppose आपकी instruction ऐसी है, add, and then R1, R2, and R3, or let's say that R1, R3, and R4. So what will happen? Addition will be done between R1 and R3, and result will be stored in R5, but it will be done at the fifth stage. And during, let's say that next instruction is subtract instruction, in which R4 is your source. So over here, there will be the problem. You have to wait until your previous instruction will store your result in R4. So that is called data dependency. So previous instruction जब तक complete नहीं हो जाती, तब तक ये data आप R4 fetch नहीं कर पाओगे. So that is a data hazard. So the successive instructions are not independent. यहाँ पे जो example है उसमें successive instructions independent नहीं है. अगर independent होगी, suppose यहाँ पे कोई overlapping नहीं होगा, then you can fetch this instruction, decode this instruction without any delay. But due to this data dependency, you cannot execute independently. So that is called data hazard. So the result generated by one instruction used by another instruction, that is an example of data hazard. We'll see it in detail. हर एक hazard, हर एक problem को detail में study करेंगे, as well as we will see the solution for this. Same way, control hazard. Control hazard means in our instructions we are having branch and loop. So due to that, your execution will be not straight line instruction or straightforward execution. So due to that also there will be the problem in pipelining. So these three hazards, structure hazard, data hazard, and control hazard. Structure hazard means attempt to use the resources two different ways at the same time. Suppose you are having only one memory, and that memory you are accessing for instruction as well as for data. So at that time, you will face the problem. That is one of the example of structure hazard. Same way data hazard जो मैंने आपको explain किया. So attempt to use item before it is ready. So independent instructions are dependent on the result of the previous instruction. So that is a pipeline. So that is a hazard in pipelining. Same way, that is a control, branching and looping. So let's consider the first जो मैंने आपको बताया कि अगर सपोज यहाँ पे जो है ये सपोज का आपकी पहली इंस्ट्रक्शन है फर्स्ट इंस्ट्रक्शन सेकंड इंस्ट्रक्शन थर्ड इंस्ट्रक्शन एंड फोर्थ इंस्ट्रक्शन सो इफ यू आर यूजिंग ओनली वन मेमोरी सो अगर आप यहाँ पे ऑब्जर्व करोगे तो यहाँ पे आप स्टेज ऑब्जर्व करोगे तो फेच इंस्ट्रक्शन डिकोड इंस्ट्रक्शन एग्जीक्यूट इंस्ट्रक्शन एंड एक्सेस मेमोरी एंड स्टोर रिजल्ट same way, if you will consider this instruction, so this instruction is also fetching instruction from memory. So यहाँ पे भी आपकी memory use हो रही है, यहाँ पे भी आपकी memory use हो रही है. If you are using only one memory to store data and instruction, data भी आपका यहाँ पे है, ये memory location में है. So data is also over here in this memory, and same way instruction is also in this memory. Instructions are also in the same memory. So at that time, that will create a problem. So that is a resources. We are having only one resource, one kind of memory. So that is creating problem over here. So that is example of structure, non availability of resources. अगर आप यहाँ पे डेटा के लिए ये एक्सेस कर रहे हो तो फिर मेमोरी एक्सेस के लिए आप यहाँ पे उसको यूज नहीं कर सकते हो यू हैव टू वेट ओवर हियर यहाँ पे वेट करना होगा सो आपको यहाँ से फेच करना होगा so this all are the problems so this is the first problem so during the that I have explained that during this fourth clock cycle this instruction is there in memory access phase and this instruction is there in execution phase so how we can overcome this over here यहाँ पे हम जो आर्किटेक्चर स्टडी कर रहे हैं कौन सा SMAC to BC उसमें हमने क्या किया we have used separate memory डेटा के लिए एक मेमोरी यूज की एज वेल एज इंस्ट्रक्शन के लिए एक मेमोरी यूज की सो वी आर यूजिंग सेपरेट मेमोरी सो देयर विल बी नो रिसोर्स प्रॉब्लम वी आर हैविंग सेपरेट मेमोरी फॉर इंस्ट्रक्शन सो इसका मीनिंग अगर यहाँ पे फेच इंस्ट्रक्शन हो रही होगी तो वो कौन सी मेमोरी एक्सेस होगी इंस्ट्रक्शन वाली एंड यहाँ पे जो मेमोरी एक्सेस हो रही होगी वो किसके लिए मेमोरी एक्सेस फेज में वो डेटा के लिए so due to this we are having this data problem as well as this so we are using data memory as well as instruction memory so both are different so that will be not creating problem over here so yahan pe wo problem create nahi karega so that can be overcome in this way so this is one of the solution for implementing or to solve this structure hazard that keep a separate memory but every time it is not possible to keep separate memory so if you are using a common memory then to access the data both for instruction as well as data then it will create a problem so what we have to do we have to introduce wait cycle over here so इसका meaning यहाँ पे आप कुछ operation नहीं perform करोगे fetch instruction आपकी कहाँ पे होगी so fetch instruction will be over here so this particular cycle for this instruction is known as pipeline stall. यहाँ पे आप क्या कर रहे होगे pipeline stall or you can say that bubble is there. Why this bubble or why this pipeline stall is there? Because you cannot use this memory. आप यहाँ पे ये memory access नहीं कर रहे हो. You have to wait it for this particular time. So that is a pipeline stall for this instruction. So fetch instruction, then decode instruction, then execute, then memory reference. So like this. So that is the problem. So यहाँ पे अब क्या होगा अगर ऐसी आपकी इंस्ट्रक्शन होगी यहाँ पे स्ट्रक्चर हैजार्ड होगा so ideally अगर ये आपकी चार इंस्ट्रक्शन आप अगर आप कंसीडर करोगे 1 2 3 4 इंस्ट्रक्शन so it should be completed in 8 clock cycle but due to this it will be completed in 9 clock cycle so this is a small example but if you are having such more resource conflict then it will lead to your more number of clock cycle for that instruction so pipelining execution में वहाँ पे ऐसा delay generate होगा And same way, if you are having instruction which is a floating point instruction, second kind of structure hazard is what? Suppose you are having floating point instruction. So floating point instruction will be not executed, will not take completed in one clock cycle. वो execution में वो ज्यादा time लगेगा. फ्लोटिंग पॉइंट इंस्ट्रक्शन जो आपकी होगी उसको एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए ज्यादा टाइम लगेगा एज कम्पेयर टू योर इंटीजर इंस्ट्रक्शन. इट मीन्स व्हाट, अगर आप एरिथमेटिकल लॉजिकल यूनिट इंप्लीमेंट कर रहे हो और वो एरिथमेटिकल लॉजिकल यूनिट में आप इंटीजर एडिशन सब्ट्रैक्शन मल्टीप्लिकेशन वो ऑपरेशन परफॉर्म कर रहे हो और उसमें सिर्फ इंटीजर नंबर्स आप यूज कर रहे हो, सो एट दैट टाइम इट विल टेक ओनली वन क्लॉक साइकिल. बट इफ यू आर हैविंग फ्लोटिंग पॉइंट इंस्ट्रक्शंस, then it will take 3 clock cycle. So if such instruction is there in your program, so what will happen, ये next instruction में यहाँ पे क्या होगा, fetch, फिर decode, फिर यहाँ से हम execution start नहीं कर सकते हैं because execution is already, your previous instruction is already there. So यहाँ पे हमको क्या करना होगा, wait. So we have to wait it over here and then execution can start from here. यहाँ से आप execution start कर सकते हो. So this is known as pipeline stall. यहाँ पे ये जो आपके बन रहे हैं, so that is, these are the pipeline stall. So that is again example of this structure hazard. Structure hazard क्यों? Structure क्यों? क्योंकि because we are having only one arithmetical logical unit for integer as well as floating point instructions. So that is a execution will take more time over here. So if you will observe again, ये diagram आपको, you need to understand it very clearly. First instruction, fetch, decode, execute, memory access, store result. Second instruction is floating point instruction. So fetch, decode, and then it will execute for 3 clock cycle. I have given it to you that if, right now consider that it will take 3 clock cycle. So that 3 clock cycle it will execute, then memory access and then store result. So for third instruction, what will be the problem? यहाँ पे आप fetch करोगे, decode करोगे, but you cannot execute it over here because execution unit is already in running. It is already in use. So you cannot start execution here. So execution will be started at this clock cycle. So execution, then memory access, and then store result. So same way, यहाँ पे I+3. So अब यहाँ पे भी क्या होगा? What will be the problem over here? So अब यहाँ पे ये जो यहाँ पे बबल क्रिएट हुआ वो आगे चलता जाएगा. So fetch instruction, decode instruction. Can I start executing my instruction over here? No, because execution unit is already in use. So यहाँ पे मैं execution unit execute नहीं कर सकता हूँ. So can I start my execution over here? No, because execution unit is already in use by previous instruction. So I have to start compulsory from here. Same way for next instruction. So fetch, decode. Can I start it from here? No. Can I start it from here? No. But I can start from here. So execution will be started from here and it take 3 clock cycle. So now for this instruction, if you will observe that how many bubbles are there. So such bubbles will be there, and due to that you are having problems in pipelining. So how to solve this bubble, how to solve these stalls, that we are going to discuss in our next lecture. वो next lecture में हम discuss करेंगे. But till now everything is clear. Reply me in chat so I can understand, I can get the point that yes, you got this. Okay, just 1 minute. Let me take attendance once. One more time.